One of the reasons I've shot videos outside on the back porch is that we don't have a dedicated room for a music studio. We have more of a dedicated corner, and it doesn't film well because of the dark acoustic foam. Also, recording guitar inside and shooting the video outside is a bit of double duty, and it takes longer. So I want to do some videos like this one as well. So in this entry, we're going to talk about updating the music studio recording corner thing. As you can see behind me, there is some old acoustic treatment that I usually use for recording, and it doesn't work well as a backdrop due to it being so dark. It does work fine for recording, and I have a rug on the floor to absorb some of the reflections that I get in this room. However, if you look closely, there are a lot of artifacts in the video because the lack of light in this corner. And I've even got some decent lighting, and I'm going to update this corner and hopefully give it a better, more pleasing visual filmic aesthetic. The idea for the first version of the acoustic treatment was to attach the acoustic foam to Coroplast, or what some people call plastic cardboard. I think Coroplast is the company that makes it. It's the same idea as cardboard, but it's plastic. It's made out of plastic. We attached these with spray-on Gorilla Glue, I think. I might have used wood glue on these, but I don't remember because it's been several years back and I'm getting old. We also put picture frame hooks so we can just put a small nail in the wall and hang them. This helps if you ever want to change or remove them. All you have to do is pull them off the wall, and there's no adhesive to deal with, at least not on the wall. Usually these are 48 inch by 48 inch, although the new ones will be 60 inch by 48 inch because of this wall.
Key takeaway number 1. Choose a place to have your studio. I would think that this is a no-brainer, but you want to think through the pros and cons of where you want to create your studio space. A few things to think about are, what are the noise levels inside and outside the room? Will you need to add carpeting to the floor to minimize unwanted reflections? Can you set up your microphones or other peripherals in a permanent or semi-permanent manner? One thing I loved about my previous studio was that everything was set up and placed exactly where I needed it. All I had to do was turn everything on, sit down, warm up, and record. Takeaway number 2. Measure out your walls. Plan your studio. Think about where is the best place to place your panels. Do the clap test and listen for the reflections in the room. Think about how big you want your panels to be. These are 60 inches by 48 inches. I want to cover as much of the wall as I possibly can. Takeaway number 3. Measure twice, cut once. As the old adage goes, measure twice and be sure to cut to the exact size you want. The panels don't have to be pinpoint accurate. They do have to be close. You can always trim them later. And yes, I'm cutting over my bed. We don't have a workshop or garage at our house. It's actually a small one-bedroom home. So we're making do with what we have. Besides, it was actually my wife's idea. Takeaway number 4. Add the hole for the picture hangers. Next, mark off where the picture hangers will be. Again, measure twice and cut once. Or in this case, drill once. I'm measuring 3.5 inches from the edge of the panel on each side. Then adding a line in the middle for the third hanger. These hangers came with pointed screws. We need a nut and bolt which we bought separately. I am adding 3 hangers in hopes that it will be enough to support the weight in the middle. To mark off where the holes will be, I am lining the picture hanger up on the lines, setting the edge on the line drawn widthwise on the board, and drawing the circles where they need to be. Make sure you drill the right size holes. If you drill too big, the nut won't hold the hanger, and if you drill too small, the bolt won't go through the panel. Lastly, use a wrench and a screwdriver to secure the hanger to the panel. The classical guitar is truly a beautiful and soothing instrument. If you're interested in learning how to play it, I offer online guitar lessons where you can master the classical technique. In these lessons, you will go from a complete beginner to a skilled composer, learning how to read music, practice effectively, understand music theory, interpret pieces, and even compose your own. I give you solid foundations to build upon and help you build your skills every step of the way. If you're intrigued by this wonderful instrument, check out the links in the description for more information. Takeaway number 5. Find the pattern. Find a pattern for the tiles that you like. Make sure that you like the pattern, as it's going to be mostly permanent. Mostly. If you go with different colored tiles, I highly recommend that you get them from the same company. Even then, the tiles may not fit together properly, which is what I ran into with the white tiles. Make sure that everything is straight before you glue the first tile. Once you have glued the first tile, you're pretty much committed, as it's going to be the cornerstone for the rest of the tiles. And here we go. I'll be honest here, I didn't like to spray on glue as much as I thought I was going to. The sticky back version worked and adhered better. I think we used wood glue on the first version of the acoustic foam panels. Also, if you're gluing inside, be mindful to have a well-ventilated area to work in. Have some cardboard or heavy plastic trash bags covering anything you don't want glue on, like a bed. Takeaway number 6. Let the panels dry overnight. Once everything is glued down, let the panels dry overnight. This is an important step. You want the glue to cure so that the tiles will not come off. Again, the sticky back version of the tiles worked a whole lot better. When we finished gluing the tiles, we had 66 in all on 2 panels. Takeaway number 7. Preparing the wall. You may or may not need to clear some space on your wall. However, for me, I needed to take down the original panels and remove some of the industrial strength Velcro that we put on the base traps. Notice I just took the panels off the wall. That's the beauty of using the picture hangers and creating a panel instead of gluing foam or tiles directly to the wall. However, if you do have something glued to the wall, simply use a hairdryer to melt the glue. If you are patient, you should be able to peel whatever is glued to the wall straight off with no problems. Apparently, I wasn't patient enough at the beginning. Once I slowed down, the Velcro could be removed without peeling the paint off the wall. We'll have to repaint when we move anyway. Takeaway number 8. Measure the wall. The last step, of course, is measuring the walls to see where to put the nails. You will want a level. Not that these walls are level. Make sure everything is straight and simply add the nails to hang the panels. For some reason, I didn't film the installation of the last panel. However, this is what it looked like when it was finished. So here's the finished product. I'm still not completely happy with the corner. It could use some better decoration. If you have any ideas, please let me know in the comments. Also, if you like talking about classical guitar and building your own home studio and recording, I'll be covering more of these topics as part of the journal. Make sure to like and subscribe to see those videos when they come out. Now that this is done, I got to get back to practicing, so I'll see you in the next video.